Minister, I hope you can take this question, please. This morning we listened to a gripping and courageous interview on the Joe Finnegan show on Northern Sound by Leah. And I'm sure you've seen Leah's video. It's gone viral on social media. But Leah is a young woman who has lost her father and her brother through suicide. She gave a heartbreaking account of how her family have been utterly failed, as she feels, by the mental health services. She spoke of her brother presenting herself at A&E, and he was sent home because they didn't have a bed. Leah described hospital wards for patients suffering with mental health problems as prisons, unfriendly and unfit for purpose. In Leah's own words, the government needs to open its eyes. Leah spoke about her father and her brother trying to access mental health services, but with no follow-up, no support and no continuity. The saddest part of her experience, as she revealed in her interview, is that she believed her brother did his very best to live. His mind was unwell, but his body fought to live. The system has failed Leah's family, Minister, and as a result, she has lost her father and her brother. Minister, I'm asking you to recognise the fact that there is a crisis in our mental health services.
Deputy Tobin, are you on the same matter? Well,
sorry.
Deputy Kenny and Deputy Murphy, yes.
First of all, Minister, I know Leah very well. I know her family very well, and you know, the family in Arigna has been devastated. 5 years ago, she lost her father to suicide, and now 2 months ago she lost her brother. And they told me about the situation of going to the mental health services, and many others have similar experiences, where they go with suicidal tendencies and they're told, look, sit there for a couple of hours and we'll talk to you, and then they're told, now you can go home and you'll get an appointment. And it could be a week and it could be a month before that appointment comes. And people and families go home, and I have a case of a young mother that has a child that has suicidal tendencies, a teenager, and is told the same. Go home and you'll get an appointment. And this situation has really become a travesty for families, particularly in the North West, but I'm sure in every part of the country. And, Minister, we have raised it here on numerous occasions, and there doesn't seem to be anybody listening. And when nobody listening, lives are being lost of human beings that are very, very tragic. And it is having a devastating effect on communities around the country, and it really needs to be dealt with urgently.
Deputy Murphy.
His families are from Arignan, County Roscommon, and as Deputy Smith said, you know, the interview this morning on the Joe Finnegan show was certainly very, very disturbing. I mean, for a girl to speak about the loss of her father and her brother through suicide, the way that she did, and the way that she gave the story was just so heartbreaking. And I think it beholds every single person in this House to deal with this mental health issue. We have more stories coming in about tragedies like this, and people are at their wits' end. Please, I ask the Minister, the Taoiseach, the Taoiseach, and everybody here to address this issue urgently. It has not been addressed urgently, and we'll go to more and more cases like this unless immediate action is taken.
Minister for Health.
Thank Deputy Smith, Deputy Kenny and Deputy Murphy for raising this, and I want to assure Deputy Kenny that I'm listening and the government's listening, but we're not just listening, we intend to act. I want to thank Leah for telling her story and extend my condolences and the condolences of the government to her for all that she's been through. I think it's an unimaginable pain and grief she must be going through, and I didn't hear the Joe Finnegan interview, but I'll certainly make it my business to listen to that and to learn from what Leah has to say. But we are acting, and I want Leah to know that. The new Central Mental Hospital in Portrane will open next year, state-of-the-art facility replacing a very old, out-of-date building. Mental health budget now above €1 billion for the first time ever. 144 assistant psychologists working in mental health, a new grade, seeing the CAMS, the Child and Adolescent Mental Health waiting list, fall by 20% since last December, and for the very first time ever a 24/7 helpline to signpost people in relation to supports. Do we have a lot more to do in relation to mental health? Absolutely we do, and I'd certainly be happy to hear from Leah and to learn from her as well.
Deputy Tobin.
Taoiseach, there are a number of